Hello, how we doing today? Welcome to Thunder Steve 85's gaming channel. And if you're new here to the channel, please do me a favor. If you like what you see today, like the video and subscribe to the channel and let your friends and family know about it, okay? Now, without further ado, I got something exciting today. As you can see in the background here, this is the Sega Genesis Mini Part 2, okay? Now, this only came out in Japan, physically, to where you could pick it up from an actual store. Now, here in the States, the only way you could get it is if you pre-ordered through Amazon Japan, which, of course, I did. So, I want to give you some background on this so you know what's going on with it. At first glance, you might be like, yeah, Steve, didn't this come out like 2 or 3 years ago? I mean, yeah, one of them did. This is part 2, though, okay? Now, if you look here, you see it says more compact, more advanced. The Sega Genesis Mini 2 is here. Okay, and you can see right here on the box is Amazon exclusive. So, it came out October 27th. Obviously, it took some time to get here. And with the holidays, it was quite busy. So I'm finally able to show this to you guys, which I'm super excited. Now, as you can see here, there's a lot of Sega Genesis propaganda. The Sega Genesis Mini is back and more powerful than ever. The definitive mini console of 2019, which it may have actually been the only mini console in 2019, so I mean, they didn't really have any competition, but hey, I thought it was great. I have it. I'll give that to them, okay? So they're saying it's been completely revamped. It says its improved hardware is tucked away in a new, compact design based on the Sega Genesis Model 2. In addition, the console now comes with the 6-button control pad. To be honest, that's pretty clutch. I have one, but it was annoying that the last one didn't come with one. The controllers released for the Sega Genesis Mini are also compatible. So if you have the Genesis Mini Part 1, you could use those controllers on this. That way you could play 2 players, of course. Okay, so what's cool about this is we have Sega CD games on this. Now, the selection is kind of all over the place. I would have been happy if they added maybe a couple of other games, but there's always the possibility down the line that there may be a way to add some new games, if you know what I'm saying. We'll have to see. It worked out with the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis 1, the PlayStation Classic. So it's worked before is my point. It might take some time, but I actually did a little digging prior to this video, and it looks like there's probably a good chance sometime in 2023. When that will be, I do not know. I'm not on the inside, but I know where to find the information. And from what I've gathered, it is very most likely being worked on by the same people that hooked it up with the previous modifications for the NES Classic and Super. I don't want to get into too many details about that here on the channel, but you can see right here, Sonic CD, right? So there are some gems on here. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't share this trailer with you, really, because it is like super cheesy, put in like a good 90s way, and I have a feeling you're not going to see this unless I show it to you. So, without further ado, enjoy this, okay? Once this is over, we'll go ahead and jump into the unboxing, because that's probably what you're here for. But in order to get excited for the unboxing, you got to know what's in the box and what's on the console. And this lays it out really nice. I totally approve. They did a nice job with this video. So sit back, relax, enjoy. Hopefully you see some games you might want to play, okay?
Definitive mini console of the year. The next evolution has arrived. Reinventing the Sega Genesis with a new compact design.
Real quick, one thing. Did you hear what they said? The definitive mini console of the year. Kind of funny, because, like, again, this was the only mini console that came out in 2022. So, kind of thought it was funny, but well, I'll give it to Sega. Okay.
Sega Genesis Mini 2. Upgraded hardware can store more games than before, including Sega CD titles. The sequels to hit titles. Hidden masterpieces that could only be played on the Sega Genesis. Ports of blockbuster arcade games. And new games you've never seen before.
Dude, is your hype pretty high right now? I know they're totally building up the hype, so let me keep playing it. Hang on! A lot of shoot 'em ups on here. Lots. Phantasy Star 2. Classic. A lot of classic tunes. Like Sega probably doesn't get enough credit for their audio chip. Some of these games have great soundtracks. Shinobi, always a classic. Never played this. Never played this. Never wanted to play this. Wasn't my style of game, especially as a kid. This is Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi. That sounds cool. Never played. I think I did. It looks like a Contra kind of clone. Played this. Didn't like it as a kid. Who didn't love Outrun? That was classic. This was a good one too. Wow. Underrated. Rolling Thunder. Also pretty enjoyable. All the Golden Axe games were pretty good. Probably better than pretty good. I wanted to like this, but never did. Never played this. This guy's like moonwalking, shooting a gun. That's interesting. Was never allowed to rent this game. Mom was super strict. Same with this. This one. Now, I'm going to talk about Night Trap after this video, okay? Briefly. You got to know the background story on this game. It's good.
Target, I'm steady.
Again, more shoot 'em ups. Good music. Great box art. Look at that. That's hilarious. Doesn't look great. Final Fight CD. This should be a good one. Final Fight's always been great. I never played the Sega CD version. Yeah, good old Echo the Dolphin. Never played this. Oh, Ranger X. I did play this. That is a good one. Man, those graphics are cutting edge. Right here. This is the jam. Sonic CD. I'm excited for that. Fun fact, they're making this into a movie. I think this year or next. Dude, look at those graphics. takes you back. It's like a time machine. This was fun. Fatal Fury, all of these. They were great fighting games. Good old Street Fighter. Streets of Rage 3. This is a good one. This was not included on the last Genesis. And you got the sequel to Outrunners. Haven't played it. Dude, look at that. You got full motion video. I remember this game. Clay Fighter, dude. Look at that box art. What a weird game, man. The 90s. Rise Star. Classic. That was supposed to be like a Zelda type game for Sega. Alien Soldier by Treasure. They made Mischief Makers on 64. Good games. Good old Earthworm Jim. You never see games like that anymore. If anything, Sonic 3D Blast has a great soundtrack. This was classic.
An extra bonus game is also included.
Bonus games, man. Who doesn't love bonus? Yeah, Fantasy Zone was a good one. Look at those colors. Now, this was a new game. A few of these are new if you look into it. They never came out before. A train game, dude. A game about a train. Space Harrier 2. Give it a shot.
Preloaded with 60 classic titles.
60
even more
games.
than the Sega Genesis Mini. More compact, more advanced. The new Sega Genesis Mini 2 is here. Available October 27th.
So there you have it. Pretty cool, right? Now, again, fun fact. Night Trap. A lot of controversy surrounding this game growing up. Now, we rented the Sega CD when we were kids from a video game store called Gamers. We used to go there all the time. We knew the whole staff. It was great. You know, we used to call like 3-4 times a day to see if like a video game was returned that we were trying to rent and we were waiting for it to be returned. And I'm sure they probably got sick of us. But we had a really nice relationship with them over at Gamers. And I remember we wanted to rent Night Trap so bad. But I think the back of the box had like some women in lingerie or something. And my dad was like, dude, if your mom sees this, like, we're going to have to return the system. And we're not going to be able to do this anymore. Like, go to Gamers and rent new video game systems. So we seriously grappled with my dad about it for like probably 15 or 20 minutes at the game store, begging him to let us rent this game. Long story short, we didn't get to rent it. So, am I excited to play it? Yeah, actually I am. So, basically, it's about, here's the description. 5 girls go to a party in a nice house on a lakeside. 5 girls then disappear without a trace. Now another 5 girls go there in order to spend their vacation with the Martins, the owner of the house. In particular, with the lovely Miss Martin. This time, you should not let them die a gruesome death, because nice people can sometimes turn out to be, yes, that's right, vampires. What? A crazy game. So, it used full motion video, and it says right here, it was the very first game to use FMV with real actors. says although it doesn't contain nudity, it was considered one of the first games to have mature content. Again, this game came out, you see here, in 1992, so that would make sense. The timelines line up. If you scroll down a little bit, with the trivia, there's some controversy here, and this is controversy I was aware of as a kid. I was only 7 years old when this game came out, but I had two older brothers, 10 and 12, that really wanted to see this game. So again, Night Trap along with Mortal Kombat were two of the mainstream games that brought about a lot of controversy in North America during the mid-1990s. Because of this, and a push by people like Senator Joseph Lieberman, the Supreme Court got involved. A law was passed in '94 to make a game rating system for all video games in the market. The system became the ESRB, so the Entertainment Software Rating Board. So the ratings that are on video games, they exist now because of Night Trap. Night Trap is what kicked everything into high gear. It's what got, obviously, Senator Joseph Lieberman involved. And Mortal Kombat had a big part of that, too. I remember watching this like on the news back in the day, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if Mortal Kombat's going to come out on Sega and Super anymore because, you know, Lieberman's trying to basically cancel this game. So if you scroll down a little bit, it says, despite the hearings, the case also showed that controversy sells. The Sega CD version was lifted from poor sales to more than 50,000 copies per week in the US, which that's like a ton. That is an insane amount for back in the day, and for Sega CD's install base. Despite that, Sega stopped the distribution of the game by January '94 because of what it did for its public image. During the hearings, retail chains such as Toys R Us and KB Toys, which again, you know, growing up in the 80s, 90s, y'all know that Toys R Us and KB Toys was where it was at. So if they're not going to carry the game, that's a problem. Best Buy didn't even, you know, come out where I live until I think the first Best Buy in Arizona was in '93. So Toys R Us and KB was where it was at. So they stopped stocking the title, but distribution of Mortal Kombat was never discontinued, which is interesting. So there's a lot of cool stuff about some of the games that are actually on this console. Some hidden gems for sure. Now, are they great games? You know, you be the judge about it, right? I wouldn't say there's a lot of great games, but there's a lot of really interesting games that deserve a second look, right? So, without further ado, let's get this baby open, okay? All right, now that we got the history lesson behind us, time has come to finally do the unboxing. So, I'm excited to do this. I got my trusty axe here. I got a miniature axe that we're going to use to open this box. Here we go. Look how easy it opens now. You should always use an axe to do unboxings. Hey, good, and I didn't damage the box. Okay, so hey, you know, first thing I'm noticing here, guys, take a look here. This box is extremely small. If you bought a Genesis 1, the box was like twice the size. So that's interesting, kind of cool. And you can see on the back here, we have a list of all the games. Got some box art there. That's pretty cool. I think that's what we have with the NES and SNES, but I appreciate it. It definitely brings back the nostalgia. All right, so we got our typical stuff here that you'd expect. We have a USB Type-C cable to power it. I do believe I am going to have to supply the brick but that's fine. I have plenty of them laying around. HDMI cable, again, pretty SOP. That's not what you came here for. You want to see what the console looks like, just as I do. Here's the console, and then this is the 6-button controller. And what do you know? Hey, you know what? I spoke too soon. We got a plug, baby. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Okay. Now, onto the fun stuff. The controller. The 6-button controller. And it's nice. Sounds good. D-pad feels good. And, you know, I didn't really use these controllers growing up. We didn't have a 6-button controller. So it is cool to be able to do some gaming with this. Try it out. That was one thing that kind of stunk about Sega, is that they only had the 3 buttons. So, 6-button controller. And here's the main event. It's what we've all been waiting for. Okay, ready? I'm going to do it slow. Watch. Here we go. I'm going to push it out like this. Getting close. Getting closer. Ah, there it is. Look at that. It's a beaut. Look at that. That even works. Now, obviously, you can't put anything in there. But it's still cool that the flap's there. Makes the same sound it used to make. We got the on-off. Got the reset button. And, of course, your controllers plug in. You got some information on the back. You know, you got Sega's Sega Genesis 2 logo. Looks like you got some address in Irvine, California. Sega of America. Okay, Sega of America is over there. Okay, I did not know that. I used to live around there. And then we have something here. What is this? Well, this pops open, but it looks like it doesn't do anything. So, at any rate, that's it. So, next, what we're going to do, we're not going to do it on this video, but stay tuned. Tomorrow, I am going to pop this baby into the TV, and we're going to play some games. We're going to check it out, see how the games hold up. We're going to actually do some play test. So if you want to see the games on here, just tune in to the next video. I'll have it up shortly. I will be working on it tomorrow, okay? Now, thanks for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, please do me a solid. Please like the video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel. I will have plenty of hardware unboxings, playtest, lots of video gaming, lots of live streaming, and video game reviews to look forward to. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great day.